Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Popcorn Podcast. I'm Tommy Crusta, and it's just me today, actually. I was getting ready to do my whole intro with Ryan, but Ryan is actually in a Buc-ee's right now in Myrtle Beach? I think it was Myrtle Beach. But, so it's just me today, and I'm just reviewing a couple things. We're going to talk about Punisher, we're going to talk about Obsession, and we're going to talk about the Michael movie. Three very different films that I had very different opinions on across all three. But yeah, make sure before you stay tuned for the rest of the episode, make sure to go and follow us on all of our social media accounts, the underscore popcorn underscore podcast on Instagram, the popcorn underscore pod on TikTok, the popcorn pod gaming on TikTok. That's our separate channel. And then the popcorn studios on YouTube. And yeah, thank you guys for the support recently. The TikToks have been doing pretty good. I did a live stream, a Twitch stream 2 days ago of Puppet Combo's new game, the Backrooms, and I played the first, probably I would say third of the game maybe, and that stream did pretty good. With the Sorry, I got a notification I wanted to check. It did pretty good, and I'm excited to play the rest of the game because I got pretty scared in just a short amount of time. Oh, is this just telling me that we're live? Public chat. Yeah. Make sure I have that up this time because I didn't have it up too much. But yeah, we're very excited. I'm very excited to talk about these three films. And the first one I wanted to start off with, though, is The Punisher: One Last Kill, which is currently sitting at 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 7 out of 10 on IGN, and a 2 out of 4 on Roger Ebert. This was directed by Renato Marcus Green, and of course, it was written by Renato and John Bernthal. And John Bernthal, of course, plays the Punisher. I was not a fan of this special presentation, especially with the way that they edited it. Felt very jarring from beginning to end. The idea I liked in this, I liked the idea of fighting through the apartment complex, but I hated that we spent 25 minutes setting up this fight when I think right away it should just went straight into him just fighting his way out of the prison he was by the task force when he was in prison, because we see the end of that when he breaks the dude's arm, but I thought it should have just been from there on, like, of them trying to hunt him down, not this whole storyline of his PTSD and all of that, which is an important thing to talk about. But I think with the Punisher, when you only have 55 minutes, that's not what people are there to see. And we gotta talk about the CGI when he falls off the building. A fight scene that was fantastic, by the way. I loved every second of when he's fighting through the apartment. It felt very much in the style of the Raid. It sometimes felt a little choppy, but the moving around the building was very cool. I liked how he just kept picking up different people's firearms. But he was regretting when he put that key away to that whole safe of guns that he had. But yeah, there's a shot. If you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely go look it up. Uh, he falls off of a roof, and it is genuinely. I texted Ryan when I was watching it, and I asked, why did Joel from the PS3 version of The Last of Us just make a cameo in this? Because that's what he looks like. I mean, it's not rendered. And they're saying it's a person with VFX around it, but it doesn't look. It looks like that they didn't finish the visual effects on it, and that it's in like a Gmod server. Like there's, excuse me, everything about it just looks off. And there was something about the whole thing just felt off. Like it never really worked for me. And I wish we just saw him as the Punisher. I hated that he was trying not to be the Punisher, and then you only see him in the suit for 15, not even 15 minutes. It's like 2 minutes of the whole thing. You see him wearing donning the Punisher suit and the logo, which really took me out of it. I wanted to see more of that, and that's just not what it was about. So I was not a fan of this. I would have given this maybe 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. I'm probably closer to Roger Ebert than any of the other reviews. Fight scene was great, but everything else just felt very lackluster from beginning to end. And I just wish there was something better for John Bernthal, because I really do love John Bernthal as the Punisher. I think he's one of the best castings that the MCU's had, and he's just fantastic as. But The look of like the sweatshirt was weird. It just didn't work for me, and that doesn't mean that it's not going to work for other people. This is just my personal opinion on it. But yeah, it really didn't work for me. I thought it was just lackluster. I said to Ryan, it was the one woman who's playing like the villain of this story is terrible. Her performance, which it could be also the writing, it just felt very hokey, and I just couldn't get into her character and that story. Like I didn't care for that, and it feels almost at points like it's trying to make the people so bad that it actually comes off as like ridiculous how bad these people genuinely are. Like the whole town is just under attack because the Punisher went and killed this mob family. It was the last group of people that were associated with the death of his family. And I kind of wish we just saw that. I just wish we saw him kill all those people, which we might have. I didn't watch season 2 of Punisher because I couldn't get through it. I thought he became too much like he was bulletproof. And I am a huge Punisher fan. I think I've explained that on the show a good bit, is that I think his character does more to stop crime than most of the other superheroes, because he doesn't just arrest them, send them away for them to escape. He puts them down for good. But I keep saying but. In this one, it just never feels like he's the Punisher. It feels like an action project. And then at the very end, they're like, oh, here's this Punisher suit. When I wish it was just Punisher from beginning to end. We got 55 minutes of him just fighting his way through New York. And we do get 20 minutes of him fighting, but the other 35 minutes are pointless to me, and it just never works. I don't have much to say because it's only 55 minutes, so it's not like I have a ton to say about the project. I just hope that we get more with this character, and they do a better job of just giving people what they want with the Punisher. And I want to check the audience score, because I don't know if maybe I'm in the minority on this one. I just did not like it. Yeah, like it has an 85% audience score. I mean, it debuted at 90 critically. It's down to 75. But yeah, when the action gets going, it's fun. It's just outside of the action. It sorry. How do I want to word it? The action's fun. It's just at times it doesn't work. But like when he stabs the dude with the pen, it's a great scene. It's so cool. It's just pure violence. When he's fighting his way through the apartments, it looks so cool that it's very much in the style of the raid, and he is helping people. I just only wanted that. That's all I cared to see in this. And I felt like there wasn't enough of it to justify this special presentation. And it did nothing for the MCU. I know not everything has to set something up, but you're normally like, okay, this is going to. I was thinking this would give me an idea of where he's going to be for season 3 of Daredevil Boarding and where he's going to be for Spider Man. He's in the same spot. He's still just the Punisher. Nothing moved forward in this. And I kind of think that's where I want to leave my review of the Punisher. It's fun action sequences, but the other 35 minutes are just kind of there. It gets kind of boring for me. Moving on to the next project. Which one am I going to talk about first? Let's do Michael first. We'll save Obsession, because Obsession is the one I saw most recently. So, the Michael movie. It was directed by Antoine Fuqua, who famously directed Training Day. It is currently sitting at 39% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.7 on IMDb, 97% on Fandango. But audience score on Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 97%. This Michael Jackson biopic is absolutely crushing it at the box office. I think it had a $200 million budget. It was supposed to be $150, but then after they had the reshoots due to the scene with the allegations made against Michael in 1993, they had to cut that and re-edit the story a little bit. So far, globally, it has grossed $615 million, making it $256.6 million in North America and almost $360 million internationally, which is absolutely insane. I have went down an absolute rabbit hole of Michael Jackson since this movie came out. And don't get me wrong, I have always liked Michael Jackson. I've been a fan of his music. Who didn't grow up dancing the Thriller, trying to do the moonwalk? And I was a little nervous when I saw it debut at 27, which is insane. That's went up 12 on the critic score. But Jafar Jackson, right out the gate, captivates you in a way that if you grew up watching Michael Jackson, if you grew up when Michael Jackson was at his peak, you feel like you're watching Michael. His mannerisms, the way he moves, the way he talks, he dances, he sings, it all feels so authentic. While they talked about that they were scared of getting someone that became more of a Michael Jackson impersonator, they they were able to have Jafar, who is Michael's nephew, someone who can sing. Because if you guys didn't know, Jafar has music. That's where he made his career. He's never acted before, and he almost lost this job because they gave him 2 years to get ready, and they ended up deciding instead of just casting him to do an open audition for it. So they were gonna have him, and then he said that it was kind of slower than like he wasn't gaining the skills he needed right away. So then they had to open the audition to anyone could audition to play Michael. But in the end, Jafar was able to win the role, and I'm have nothing against nepo babies. If you like, as long as they're good, and Jafar was fantastic. I think it's up there with Austin Butler for the best biopic performance. And to me, this is the best biopic. It is enjoyable from beginning to end. While with the Elvis movie, I feel like the first two acts are kind of weak, while the third act pulls it together a little bit for me. This, on the other hand, is from first scene to last scene. I was smiling, moving around my chair. I wanted to get up and dance to listen to this music and dancing. The concerts are phenomenal in this, and it's one of those movies that you wish you want to see with a crowded audience. And I went to a 10:45 showing opening weekend, and it was packed. And no, I didn't go opening weekend. I went on a Tuesday. No, I went on a Monday because I flew home Tuesday. I saw it in Georgia. I went on a Monday at 10:45 in the morning, and it was packed. It shows you just the impact Michael Jackson has had on the world. And I know Drake's new album came out, and he might pass Michael for #1 albums. Michael Jackson, I think they said he had 7 albums in his entire career. Drake put out 3 this week, just to put it in comparison to how impressive it is that Michael has 3 #1 albums. Drake is going for 4, but he has 12 albums, maybe more. And again, I'm not the biggest Drake supporter, and I'm not a huge fan of Drake's music, so maybe I have a different view on all this than other people do. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people are comparing Drake to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the biggest influential person of all time. There's a quote that says, Michael Jackson is closer to God than any artist is to Michael Jackson. And when you watch this movie and you watch clips of Michael Jackson and everything, you realize that it's probably a factual statement. He's the biggest thing ever. He sadly passed away in 2009. He's the second most popular artist in the world today. This past weekend, he had the second most streams, behind Noah Khan, who's a huge artist and just put out his brand new album. So it's just absolutely incredible to me that Michael has such a cultural impact, and that this movie is bringing it all to the forefront. And a couple other things before I get into things that I didn't like about the project, which isn't even didn't like, because I really liked almost this entire movie from beginning to end. Coleman Domingo playing Joseph was absolutely fantastic. He really gets across how awful Joe was to Michael and his brothers. He didn't allow them to call him dad, which, being 5 years old, that has an emotional impact on you and the person that you become. Miles Teller, not in a ton as John Branca, his manager, but the scenes he is in, he's Miles Teller. He's always very good. Giuliano Valdi, he plays young Michael in the Jackson 5. Fantastic performance. This kid can sing, he can dance, and then they do side-by-sides, and he looks just like him. They did such a great job. Nia Long, she plays Michael's mom. She did a really good job. And then I want to find Michael's bodyguard, because he was really good in this project. Mike Myers is in it, which is pretty cool. Keelan Darrell Jones, he plays Bill Bray. For those who don't know, he was Michael's best friend. He was his head of security, and their relationship was so kind. Bill did everything he could to try and give Michael a life outside of being Michael Jackson, which was impossible for him to do. He couldn't go anywhere. He couldn't do anything, but he did a really good job of playing that character. Kendrick Sampson as Quincy Jones did a really good job. I really enjoyed every scene with Quincy and seeing Michael in the studio and explain to Michael how he can't move around as much because his voice isn't picking up as well. And all those kind of scenes they were just nice scenes. And if you wouldn't play Twister with Michael Jackson, we can't be friends because I would have dropped everything to go and play Twister with him that day. But they even asked, I think it was Jermaine Jackson. They asked him if they would, why didn't he play Twister? And he said that those were real things that would happen. Is that Michael would want to play like a kid's board game or a game, and they want to go on dates, go to the movies, play sports. So Michael had it harder. They all had it hard being the Jackson Five. They're all young, growing up, being entertainers. But Michael knows nothing outside of entertaining, and I think that led to him being the way he was. He when he passed, he thought everyone hated him. He didn't understand why everyone was so mean to him. He just wanted to be a person. He wanted to be a child. He wanted to enjoy his life. And he said, the famous clip of him hating touring. And you see how hard he worked to make these tours great. He danced, he sung, he moves around like no one I've ever seen before. And Jafar is able to capture that on screen, which makes this movie so enjoyable. You can feel when you're looking at Jafar playing Michael, you can feel the emotions in the scenes, but you can also feel how much love is dedicated to this performance to make it feel authentic to Michael, and that Jafar wants his uncle to be able to watch this, looking down on it and being proud of him for what they did. And I did grow up thinking Michael bleached his skin. I thought Michael Jackson wanted to be white. That's what I grew up believing, and that's what I think a lot of people did. And then you learn about his vitiligo, and you see how much of an impact that has on throughout the movie, because it's a continuous story of him doing his makeup to trying to keep his color correct and not have these blotchy spots all over. And you feel so bad for him. Sorry. What else did I want to say? Oh, so this is a weird kind of thing for me. Is that so? First of all, I want to say I gave this a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I think I have an 86 on my score list so far. It's up there, my for top couple of movies of the year so far. My favorite scene is also a scene I wish wasn't in the movie, because I wish it was how part 2 started. Was the bad performance at the end? It was amazing. It was one of the best concert scenes ever in film for me. It felt so real. And someone's out there has said that Jafar should go on tour as Michael. I would be front 5 rows every show around the Atlanta area, because I would be in Atlanta by then. But yeah, he was just fantastic. And the bad scene, the costume. And there's a scene where he looks back at the camera, and it's when they do the dun dun dun, like the bad intro. I swear Michael's in that scene. Like, he looks at you and he has this look, because he looks right down lens and you can feel it. And he's really looking at Bill, but you feel like he's looking at you, and then gives this unbelievable performance as Michael doing the bad song. And I kind of wish that they ended it after it's not Human Nature, I don't think. No, what's the last song they sing? He sings like his last song is as a member of the Jackson 5. And I kind of wish it ended there, and then the next one started with like the bad intro, and that's how we got into the next set of the story. And going into things that I wish that were different, I do wish we got a little more of the dramatics. I feel like there's plenty in there still, but I wish there was just a little bit more. But I think this does a better job than most other biopics of going into the darker stuff a little bit, like with his dad, which is the main story of this movie. People are wondering why the allegations haven't been brought up. They did try and film the 1993 allegations made against Michael Jackson, which were settled. There was no criminal charges filed against them, which is another misconception about them, and that Michael paid them to stop talking. They paid it because if they went to court, it would have ended the Dangerous tour before it even started. And they wanted, I don't know if you guys can hear that, the sirens going crazy outside. They said that it would end up costing them 3 times as much if they go to court. So then they settled, and there was no convictions. He was found not guilty. But when Antoine Fuqua didn't know that there's an agreement that they wouldn't discuss it on film, what happened during those things signed by the family that was part of this uh, of the Michael that accused Michael Jackson. So they filmed the whole thing, and then they had to cut it and refilm the ending. So when you're watching it, the end feels a little off until the bad side, and then you get why that's the end. But I feel like that, to me, that's like the one big problem. It's a little bit jumpy at certain points, like you're jumping from time. Excuse me. You're jumping back and forth a lot, but it's Michael Jackson. There's so much to talk about, and I have no problem with this being a two-part. I would have actually been kind of upset if they tried to fit, what is it, 45 years of his life in one movie. I like that they're giving it space, and it seems like with part two coming, officially being made, that it seems like they are going to lean into the more dramatic stuff in this next one. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how they attack the allegations made against Michael. They're going to have to cast someone as Macaulay Culkin, I'm assuming, which is going to be cool because there's going to be a lot of people join this story. Like a Chris Tucker needs to be part of this story to me. He's such a huge part of Michael's friendship. But all in all, I thought it was a beautiful biopic that really showed Michael Jackson just out off the stage, but also showed how amazing he was on stage. So I really enjoyed myself, and I think it was a fantastic biopic and a really good movie. Moving on to the last thing I'm going to be talking about in this episode, and that is my review of the new horror movie Curry Baker's Obsession. Obsession was a movie that has had a ton of people talking about it. Since it got announced, people love Curry Baker, and I love him too. I mean, his TikToks are hilarious. Oh no, I thought I hit the wrong tab. Obsession, though, is currently sitting at a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 95 on Fandango, 4.2, though, out of 5 on Letterboxd, with a 95% critic, 95 audience, 94 critic. And the cast is Curry Baker's not actually in it, but what's his name? Cooper Tomlinson. He plays Ian in this. Him and Curry do the TikTok and Instagram reels together, like their side channel. But Indy Naravet, she plays Nikki, the main person who's obsessed with Bear, Michael Johnson. They both are very good. Michael Johnson's doing a good job. Indy as Nikki, it's jumped. I said to my mom when I saw her after I went, it's become one of my favorite horror performances. The way she moves, the way she acts, it's like Curry's editing it to make her sound the way she does, but it's not. It is fully her performance, and I know that sounds a little weird when I'm saying it, but when you watch the movie, it'll make a lot more sense. She has a movement to the way she walks, the way she talks, the way she stares. All of it is so, there's a point to everything she's doing. And I've loved it. I loved her performance. This is one of my highest. This is probably my top 3 of the year so far. I currently have it at 89%, and it's fantastic. It is genuinely creepy. It is eerie. It's scary. It's violent. And there's a scene, and it's towards the beginning, probably the end of the first act, and it actually gave me goosebumps as soon as it happened. It sent chills down my spine. And this movie does not rely on the jump scare, but there are a few in there for you. But what makes it so scary is the performance from India as Nikki. She is absolutely fantastic in this project. I would really love to see her get nominated, but we've seen so many horror performances get pushed under the rug. Now with Sinners, we saw a win. But I feel like, and we saw Amy Madigan, so there's 2 right there. So maybe we're moving towards horror can be part of these categories, because I still think Toni Collette not being nominated for Hereditary, it goes down as one of the worst Oscar snubs of all time. But this movie's, fantastic. It's funny. There's a unique sense of humor to the whole concept. But also, at the end, I felt sad almost more than anything. Like the last 5 minutes, I genuinely felt upset and sad for what the story went. because we've all had the idea like, oh, I want to wish for something. And then you have to deal with this wish. Think if you actually made that wish in the moment and you had to actually live through it. And I know we all say, oh, give me $1 billion. And that's pretty great. But then you got to think about IRS, taxes, people wanting to take this money from you. In this concept, it's he wants this girl, Nikki Bear, wants that he's had a crush on for years. He wants her to love him, and she does, but she becomes, it's a different level of love. She's obsessed with him, obsession of course being the title, and you see how far this love is pushing her and how insane it has made her. And soon, I mean, from the right off the bat, as soon as it starts, you know that they don't ever fully explain how it all works, but it doesn't have to. It's just creepy, and it's almost like a mix of mind control and magic and possession, and it plays into all these different things in such a great way that keeps you on your toes, and that the performances make it so good that you feel like this is a real thing happening. And I think I talked about in the last episode, I was getting the text updates, and I'm no joke, I think it was by luck, but I bought my ticket, and then the first thing I got a minute later was a message from Nikki saying, I can't wait to see you tomorrow for the first time, and it freaked me out. But I am so happy that it came together as well as it did, because you always want to see these creators succeed doing these movies. We had uh at Eden Lake, we had, of course, Markiplier's film, Iron Lung. Oh, what was the one? Matt Shuckman's. Whatever his was. But I loved, and shout out to Rare's Lost Podcast. They have Sandman is their new project they're working on. And it gives me hope for Trespass to make it that far. And I just want creators to support creators. And I'm so happy for Curry Baker. This project was fantastic. He did an absolutely amazing job with it. His direction was great. His tone and the vibe of it feels so eerie. And the way he lights rooms is so purposeful. And it sets up the scene so well. He did a great job for this being his directorial debut on a feature film. I know he did what was the short he did? Go check out his shorts though. They're on YouTube. They are fun. So his comedic ones are on like YouTube, so are great. But he did a horror one that was also really good. But Obsession is on a different level of artistic and fear, and it's a complete story with a complete idea brought to the screen in a great way, and I absolutely adored it. I hope that the Backrooms by Kane Parson, it's the next one. It comes out right at the end of this month, so right after I come home from Ireland, which is why I'm recording this episode by myself. I never actually explained that. I go to Ireland tomorrow, and I won't come home till Memorial Day. So we have a little bit of an off time. So we're going to do again. We're going to double up on the boys. We're for sure doing a Backrooms review. It's one of my most anticipated movies in years. And yeah, Obsession, though, was great. I can't wait to watch it again. I can't wait to watch it with friends of mine. What else do we have? Oh, we have Passengers, another horror movie coming out. So I think we'll double up on Passengers in the Backrooms, and we'll do The Boys, because I did watch The Boys. I guess I could do The Boys by myself. Maybe. Well, I guess you guys will see if I do it by myself. But this was a really great movie, and if you want to make film, I would highly recommend watching Obsession. The camera work, the lighting, the editing, the writing, it all comes together very, very, very well. But yeah, I said an 89. I did get my rating. Want to make sure. So shout out the cast and crew of Obsession. Shout out the cast and crew of the Michael movie. Shout out the cast and crew of The Punisher. Because even though if I don't like a product, doesn't mean it didn't take love and effort from everyone involved. And to make a movie is so incredibly difficult. And I just want to give a quick shout out to all of them. But yeah, that's everything I have for you guys this week. For these 3 reviews. Hopefully you guys will also see me do the Boys review, because I feel bad making you guys wait so long for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for thank you guys so much for staying tuned throughout the episode and checking out all of our social media page. We really, really are grateful for everyone that supports the channel, supports everything we do. We're just 2 idiots from Delaware County, Delco area, if you guys have heard of it. just trying to make it in this crazy industry. And we are so grateful for the continued support that you guys have shown us over these last couple years. We're coming up on 5 years, I think, of doing the show. 5 years. Next month, I think. It's either the next month or it's 5 days from now. But I'm extremely grateful for all of you, and we will see you guys in our next episode. See you guys.